Greetings and welcome back to the AlonzoBash Podcast. Real people, real conversations. On this episode, Alonzo sits down with one of soca music's exciting rising talents, RAE, the Sweetheart of Soca, for an inspiring conversation about music, perseverance, and her journey into the industry. RAE takes us back to her early years and speaks about her connection to the late, great Roy Cape, one of Trinidad and Tobago's legendary musicians and band leaders. Before stepping into the world of soca, RAE studied modern and classical music, building the musical foundation that would later help shape her sound and career. She recalls the shocking moment she was named Best New Artist, an achievement that confirmed she was quickly becoming a name to watch. RAE also gets candid about the highs and lows of the music industry and the challenges that come with pursuing a career in entertainment as a mother of two. In one of the most personal moments of the interview, RAE opens up about overcoming a rare heart illness and how that experience strengthened her determination to pursue her dreams while becoming one of soca's most in-demand emerging artists. RAE also talks about sharing the stage with soca star Patrice Roberts and taking her career internationally while touring with superstar KEAs of Kes the Band. From classical training and Caribbean musical heritage to health challenges, major stages, and a rapidly growing career, this is the story behind RAE, the Sweetheart of Soca. Real people, real conversations. The AlonzoBash Podcast starts now.
Greetings and welcome to AlonzoBash Podcast. I'm your host, Alonzo Bash, and of course, today we join with another wonderful episode. Today we actually have a superstar among us. I've known this lady for quite some time, and I'm so excited to really sit down and have a good conversation because, to be honest with you, it's very rare in this business that you meet someone in the infant stage to the stage that they are now at a high level. Very few people I've interviewed in the past, and this beautiful lady is one of them. I think she could correct me. I may have been one of the earlier interview she did in the career. Maybe the first or second or third, one of those. Anyway, without further ado, she's here. RAE, welcome.
Hello. I can't pinpoint what number it was, but it definitely was very early, very early in the career. Yeah, that's what we're going with. That's it.
Yeah, we're taking that. Yeah, because at that time, I remember the first person I met obviously was Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
And then so came back around and that's when they talked about he's managing a new artist.
Mm-hmm.
That was like in either 2017 or 2016 it might have been.
And it had to be later than that because I started putting out the music in 2018. So
Might have been 17, you think?
So 2019, I would say, is when the music started to release. So maybe 2018 might have been when he started like making introductions and them kind of thing. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're still taking that. I know it's early.
Yeah, it's still early.
Yeah. But green as that back then. Oh, man. First and foremost, man, congratulations on all your success. I would say this, I'm so proud of you.
Okay, thank you.
Definitely put in a lot of work. And yeah, man, you're here. So this is why we're here. Definitely want to take time to sit down, and catch up and let folks know who you are and how long you've been doing these things. I want to start with your backstory. You were born and raised in South Trinidad, yeah?
South Trinidad, yeah. Santa Flora. I'm not gonna say Santa Flora to be specific.
Santa Flora. Well, I don't know these guys. I'm from Arima. So when it comes to South, out of my zone really. So
well, most people that I talk to is like they like South, and if I say anything past Sando, they like well
lost.
But I nothing. I gotta take a trip south one day and explore.
Yeah. So where exactly? That's close to what?
Where could I? So I don't know if anybody would know where I say it when I say it, but like Jacob Settlement, Saparia is not far from Saparia. Like maybe like
you go over there. We can work with Jacob Junction. I work again. Saparia.
Jacob Settlement.
So close to Saparia. The area.
Very close. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So what was it like growing up in tell me about the family structure, your mom and dad, other siblings, and what was it like growing up in that Santa Clara area?
So for me, I did a lot of back and forth at a very early age because I had a heart condition and Trinidad wasn't equipped at that time to handle. It was called tetralogy of Fallot, and it was like, even till this day, it's like people are like, what? She had that? Or whatever. It's like a very rare thing, I guess. So I did a lot of back and forth. I had to be in the States to like get all my medical care and things like that. And then I'd always go back home and then I'd come back up and then I'd go back home. So I think I've gotten to experience both worlds, not one more than the other per se, but I did school in the States. So
Okay.
it's like for that aspect, I have I don't know what to call it, but it's like
So both
I would
worlds.
have to, yeah. So it's like culturally, everything is home. Everything I did with my parents and everything like that, that's culturally home. But at the same time, in the States, it's like I wouldn't talk with my accent and things like that because people wouldn't understand me.
Yeah.
So it's like I kind of found ways to, and still, even without talking with the accent, I'd say things and people would pick it up and be like, what you
Yeah.
talking about? Like, I'd be like, oh, like, I'm looking for a park. And they're
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? You have to get to school. What do you mean you're looking for? And I'm like, exactly. I like, I need to get to school.
Yeah, that's a good one. Look at
So it's things like that. Yeah, always been.
I'm laughing because listen, just like you, when I migrated to the States, I was 17. I remember going to the
Yeah.
bar and telling the guy I went to a Walmart, right?
He's like,
He's like,
what is that?
Mark, who's that? But yeah, carry on, carry on.
Yeah, no, so it's just I think I got the best of both worlds. I get to always experience home and that being my culture and that running through my blood while getting the opportunities that I would have had from like being in the States and getting to go to a school I was focused on, the arts. I did vocal and things like that in school, and that's where I graduated, went on to college and them kind of things. So always going back home at the end of the day is like constantly. And only in my adult years, it would
Yeah,
have been when I started experiencing town, really, because for me it was just always south, always south. So when I started doing the artist things, I would not stay south anymore. I would stay in St. James, and it was a whole different world to me. For the best way to explain it is, it was like St. James was like the city, like being in the city versus when I'm home in south is you want to be home by a certain hour because you don't know if you're going to get transport and them kind of things. So it was a very, very different experience for me. And I've just been adjusting to all the different aspects of everything.
yeah, yeah. What was so you went to I'm assuming middle school, high school, and you mentioned college. What you did all this school in the US?
Yeah.
Mm, okay, nice. What college?
Queen's College.
Okay, okay, New York. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, New
So
York. Yeah.
all right, apart siblings, where do you fall in the family structure?
So I am, I guess, technically the middle child. I have an older brother and I have a younger brother, and I'm the girl.
You?
I'm the spoiled brat who really was like the adult out of everybody,
Got
but
it.
middle child.
It's nice, nice, nice. So your parents with us, still with us as well?
Yes, both of my parents, thank the Lord, is still with me. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. All right. So you went to Queens College.
Yeah.
So you did music in school, like you mentioned. Where did
Yeah.
the for music or soca, I would say? The time you used to sing like classical music and stuff like that in school?
Yeah. So when I was in school, it was like jazz, a lot of classical music. Soca is Soca for me was always the fetting aspect, the home aspect, the cultural aspect, and it was never something I had technically considered to
Yep.
pursue. It's
Mm,
again the background that I have. It was like it would keep me more on like the R&B side and the classical side and those kind of things.
yeah.
And it was only a time I went out to an event and Patrice was there performing,
Yeah.
and something happened with the sound system. The music shut off, and she just kept singing,
Yeah.
and I was
Acapella.
like. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
hold up. Like, I'm hearing some vocals, like, you know what I'm saying? And in that moment, it was like, holy crap, like, this doesn't just have to be from the fetting aspect. So when I did decide that I was going to do this professionally, I had
Mhm.
to decide which lane I was going to tackle. And I was like, nah, it has to be soca. Like, that's where the passion is for me. That's where the love is, the way I would feel and be free. Like when I'm fetting and soca music come on. And now that I know I could apply my vocals to it as well, I was just like, oh, yeah, it had to be soca. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how it came about.
That's a good point too, man. Because had opportunity to interview Patrice, Payana,
Mhm.
Destra, and they actually could sing. And I always say this all the
Yeah.
time. If they actually go a cappella, you'll be blown away because a lot of times soca has a disadvantage because a lot of times the hype and the energy, as you well know, these ladies could really hold a note. Alison Hinds as
Mm-hmm.
well,
Yep.
So,
Yep.
that's to your point. Yes. All right. So you decided to get into soca. I kind of know this part of the story, but for the listeners who may not know, well, when and how was the moment you decided? You know what? Also, before I answer that question, I
Mm.
also understand that you related to the late Roy Cape as well.
Yes, that's my big cousin. Was my
Oh
big
wow!
cousin.
Oh, that's a legend.
Yeah, and he played a role in how I started as well. So when I made up my mind that I wanted to do this, one of my cousins, his best friend at the time was Daryl, my manager,
Yeah.
and for years and years and years, he'd go on about, oh, yeah, to meet my best friend. He does right for cash, ting, 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 ting. And, I ain't studying none of that. I ain't not
Right.
paying attention to that going over my head. I'm just like, yeah, 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 man, yeah, yeah, yeah. But then when I finally realized, I want to do this, it's like, I don't know if it's just women, but when you're ready to remember something, all the details just come back. So I was like, I remember my cousin saying, ting, ting,
Yeah.
ting. So I hit him up and I say, remember the guy you was telling me about? Would you mind reaching out to him and asking him if he's willing to, have a conversation with me?
Mhm.
And he said, okay, yeah, no problem. He'll do that. Before I had the conversation with Daryl,
Yeah.
I spoke to Uncle Roy, and he was giving me advice as to how he thinks is the best avenue for me to enter into the industry. And his
Mhm.
advice to me was, Duru, you want something where it go show your voice,
Yeah.
but you want something too where they can't say this is not your culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he wanted me to navigate both ends of it, where I don't just jump out and it's jump, 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 and people can hear the vocals behind the song. But he also wanted to make sure that whatever the song was, it also still represented culturally, where people could hear and understand that, and not just trying to sing and riff and them kind of things. And he's like, and that comes with the beat selection, which whatever beat you choose a beat that's kind of like playing the middle ground. So when I had reached out to Daryl, the conversation was really just supposed to be advice. It was supposed to be, hey, I want to get my foot in the door. I literally have I have no idea where to start. I have absolutely no idea what to do. Could
Yeah.
you advise me on, what are some steps I should take? And somehow in conversation, that turned into he's a songwriter, and if you're gonna put his neck on the block for anybody, he gotta make sure he could sing and thing. And it was like an interview over the phone, and I had to sing one time on the phone. And in the middle of the singing, he's like, all right, you have it. We could work however the case may be. That is quite literally, okay, I shouldn't say that's how it started. Because me thinking, okay, well, that's how it goes, right? You have the conversation, somebody
Yeah.
sends you music, that's it.
Yeah.
After that conversation, it was like impossible to get onto Daryl. I'm like, oh my God, I'm eager, I'm hyper. Here he is telling me this is what I need to do, but then he not sending the music, he not sending the options for me to choose, and I'm running him down, and I hate to feel like I'm like nagging people.
Yeah.
So every time I message him, I'm like, hey, don't mean to bother you, but, don't forget me, little things like that here and there, like, hey, just checking in.
Hey, I know it, man.
Yeah, and eventually he sent a beat, and I liked the beat, and I said, "Hear what?" No matter of fact, he said, "Hear what?" He's like, "We could work, but I don't trust you enough to record any music with you by yourself. I don't know what you're capable of and things like that." He said, "You're gonna have to come home and you're gonna have to record home." And I say, "Okay, well, let we negotiate. If I go and come home and I had to do this, let it be more than one song."
Yeah.
And he say, "Okay, cool." I say, "No, I would like to be on a rhythm. I don't know if anybody would be willing to have
Right.
me on their rhythm, but I would love to be on a rhythm." And
Yes.
he's like, "Okay, let me see who I could reach out to, and just see, we'll go from there. But we could do that. We could do the single and we could do a rhythm." He comes back and he tells me, "All right, Moto says he will let you on the rhythm. He needs it."
That's a good pause right there. Because
Yeah.
at the same time, when I'm doing interviews, I always think about the person who may not really fully understand. So at this point, brand new to the business.
And spanking you.
You're pretty much off the street.
Yeah.
And thankfully, you were blessed to meet someone like Darla, who's already connected in the industry, right?
Yeah.
Great personality, great writer.
Hmm.
But Darla, he ain't got time to wait.
Yeah.
He obviously saw a talent in you. And I've interviewed Darla as well. So we talked about it.
Mhm.
Obviously saw the talent in you and your humbleness. So at this point, he pretty much one of the top producers, also an artist in the soca
Yes.
scene. You have the ability to jump on a rhythm, which is
Mhm.
a little bit unheard of, to be honest
It
with
was insane. At least for me too. I was like, okay, is this really happening? Sure.
you. That's like the breakdown of hip hop. That's like a rapper coming out today and he gets a opening to like Dr. Dre or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And it's the rhythm at that. It was a rhythm with a bunch of big seasoned artists.
right, right,
So it was like, it was scary. It was scary. It was exciting. It was like all of those things. And I remember him telling me, Moto's like, okay, but before I let she on, like, play me something that she have. And
right.
I was like, she don't have anything. And he's like, she has nothing? Like,
The-
nothing? So it's even back to kind of that idea of what you said. It was like so green that it's like, Moto's just like, okay, well, give me a sample.
right.
And he's like, I can't. Like, it doesn't exist. So,
Yeah.
and it's not to say that I didn't sing before, but to say on a professional scale, no, it was, like young kids and you're in studio and you
Right.
think it's and you record. But yeah, it was nothing in comparison to what I've been exposed to, what I've grown from, what I've learned. It was nothing like that. So big up Moto. I always will say, like, he definitely, between him and Daryl, between Daryl taking a chance and between him convincing Moto and Moto saying okay, like, that
Yeah.
was an amazing foot out in the door kind of moment, because the Toten Rhythm, even till this day, like, there's times I go and I'm checking my stats and Toten Rhythm's playing on the radio somewhere and I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. So it was a really big blessing. And then that led into my first carnival experience as an artist. And again, it's like that fear because I don't know if
So
anybody gonna take me
Carnival.
on. Huh?
This was Trinidad Carnival.
This was Trinidad Carnival, 2020 Trinidad
Right.
Carnival. And I was like terrified because I'm like, ain't nobody gonna take me on. I accustomed to performing with a chorus and is all of we standing up together on a stage versus like here I am stand alone now and how to move across a stage and all those things. And we don't play too, so it's like, people stand up so and they just
Yeah. Who is she?
watching you perform, right? So it was a really scary experience. And at the same time, a lot of people showed so much love. Like for me, just starting, like, Moto would have me come on stage with him. Dev would have me come on stage with him. There was so many artists that were willing to either have me a part of whatever they were doing and or let me run on in their sets. That was a lot off of the strength of Daryl. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know me. They're only now being introduced as, here's Daryl's artist.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for that year. It was to be honest, no, I don't think any of us anticipated that that's how this was going to start.
Yeah.
I don't think we could have
Foresee.
prayed for a better outcome, for
Mm.
a greater season. It was really amazing, and again, a big thanks to everybody. All any I got paid to do gigs in 2020 as an artist. That we
Yeah.
were like, what? Are they sure?
Yeah. What the pay for me?
Exactly. So it was a huge, huge, huge blessing, and definitely got my foot wet extremely quickly.
Yeah. What was the preparation like going to Trinidad? For like stage performance, and all these things. What for you? 'Cause, a lot of people don't understand. Stepping on a stage takes a lot of mental preparation before you even see the person on stage performing. What
Yeah.
was it just like for you?
For me, fear. So once I was on the stage, the fear was gone.
Yeah.
The fear was always, at least this is how it hit me, right? It was always on the way to the venue. Not
Yeah.
when I'm at the venue, not right before I went on the stage, but on the way to the venue where it's like any way you could psych out yourself
Yeah.
in that vehicle, you are psyching out yourself. I'm like, oh my God, what if I mess up? What if I say the wrong words? What if they laugh at me? What if they boom me off? What if, all these different things that you could be thinking in your brain. But it was funny because the people who did know me, like personally, and or was an extension of Daryl, they would say, like, girl, you went on there like you do this already. And like I say, I wasn't a stranger to the stage. I was a stranger to the stage by myself.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a stranger to the stage, going to school for it. Like we traveled, we did a lot of, performances and things like that. So again, it was never the stage per se that scared me. It was the lead up to it.
Yeah.
And it would just have to be like, I'm not a drinker and them kind of things too. Some people might say, okay, well, I could take a little drink before I the stage and that might cool. I'm not a drinker like that, and that paranoids me even more. So anytime somebody asking like, "Oh, you want a drink? You want a drink?" I'll be like, "When I'm done, when I
Yeah.
finish." So you get in the raw, nothing in between when I go on, and then you'll get the the looser version when I come off.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just again a lot of the moments of you're nervous in the lead up. But once I reach, I think something just kicked in me where it's like, you're here to do something.
Come
You
to
know
work.
what you came to do? Right. Do it. Do it. Just sometimes I'm performing and I kid you not, I have not seen the crowd.
You know what?
Like,
That is so true. As you know, I host as well. I've actually introduced you many a times on stage, and
mhm.
I was tell people that 'cause people were like, "Yeah, I saw you. I was waving." I'm like, when you're on a stage, man, your brain, your mind, your focus is on what you need to do. You really don't see nobody.
Yeah.
That you mentioned that it's true. You don't see nobody.
Yeah. And that's as I got more seasoned in it, I learned how to navigate that better, right? Because of course now when you're performing, you want to feed off of when people is giving you
Yeah,
certain energies and things like that. But in the beginning, forget it. I promise you, I cannot see you.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
care if you jumping up in front of me and you I so just want to do it and know that it got done. I cannot see
right.
you. I don't see you. But yeah, it's gotten a lot better now and I've learned to pay attention to where the energy is given and feed off of that and then build off of that to create make the energy create somewhere else and things like that. But yeah, and still there's moments where if I am feeling a little nervous, I'm not seeing the crowd. In the
Yeah,
beginning, I can't tell you what the crowd was looking like.
right, right. All right. So 2020, we breakout year, and boom, of course, Corona came thereafter. How were you able to navigate through Corona? It seemed like so far away as we talk about it today, but that was some tough times too as well for artists.
Yeah, that was really, really difficult. And at the same time, it was a really, really big blessing. And I say that obviously specifically speaking for me myself, because we know there's a lot of people who lost people and
Yeah,
things like that. But the difficulties in it was one being locked up at home after you've experienced being out and you're in the sun and it's almost like you come back from again living where people
yeah,
wish that they could be and things like that and now you're stuck, right? You're stuck and it did a lot on me mentally in the sense of that feeling of being stuck. Like it really messes with you. It when it's stripped away and there's no other option, it really, really messes with you. And I had to kind of take a step back and reevaluate myself and look at it differently to not let it affect me in that way. One of the first ways I looked at it was, you know what, Ray, this is a blessing because now you get to be home with your family. You don't know what this would have looked like had it not happened after your first season. Now you get to say you experienced this first season and you still now have this designated time for your family to at
yeah,
that time my younger son was very young and I would have missed out on so many moments had I continued if
yeah,
COVID didn't happen.
yeah,
And it allowed me to be there and grow with them. It taught me how to record myself. Before that, I was going in studios and
yeah,
having to record by other people. That is cost real money, People don't understand. Being an artist is not easy because when you can't cut out the middleman, you are
hmm,
paying a lot of money to make sure your things are getting done. You are paying by the hour for that studio. You are paying to get those things comped and all kind of thing, right? So it's like when that middleman got to cut out and I was able to record myself. And once Daryl started feeling confident with how the vocals was coming out when it was being recorded at home, unless it was for content, there was really no need for me to go in a studio. Like I could literally do everything at home. So I learned how to record myself. I sucked at makeup. When
okay.
I watch back my photos from 2020
Back
to
on the
now, I be like, yo, Daryl, as my manager, though, real talk. You let
yeah.
me walk out and go to a performance looking like this? Like, I think I might have to question your management skills.
You
Give
were
it
concerned with outfit. You were concerned about outfit.
yeah, yeah. I'll say, it was new for him too. You know what? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, I learned how to do my makeup. I learned how to do my hair. Like I was putting locks in my hair for myself, braids in my hair for myself. And again, that's things people going outside and paying $300 for and all them things. And as an artist, you're constantly wanting to change your look,
Yeah,
constantly wanting to reinvent different things. And again, those things cost money. So learning how to do those things myself gave me more confidence as well because it's like, hey, you don't give yourself enough credit for what you're capable of or for what you could teach yourself. I also was like, nobody was really trying to make music because it's soca, people seeing soca as carnivals not happening. So there were no producers that were just like ready and jumping. to
Right.
make music. And I'm just like, nah, I can't stay like this. And I'm on Daryl, like friggin' like I was probably like a fly in the air. I'm like,
Yeah.
somebody had to want to, somebody had to want to. And eventually we ended up linking up with Patex, who's a Jamaican producer. And we put out a song during COVID. And I was so happy because literally nobody was really trying to put out music. So that too, like just learning this idea of keep releasing music, right? Like don't only release it for the carnivals. We were involved in a lot of virtual performances and things like that. So it was trying to find ways to remain relevant
Yeah.
while everybody's in lockdown. And I think we did a really, really good job of it because we were just on virtual thing after virtual thing after virtual thing. And it was like the name, I was afraid that the name would just disappear
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it didn't. Instead, it was like, well, she's taking a chance and she's putting out music while others not putting out music. She's on this virtual thing. And I think that gave us a good leg up for when the world opened back up and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. You did mention, your kids as well. You got two sons?
Yeah, two sons.
How's navigating motherhood? And cause I know you do a lot of traveling and stuff. How
Yeah.
I think I asked Queen Omega the same question because I don't write down questions. I just ask what comes to mind, And so, how is it navigating being a mother and an artist at the same time?
It's difficult sometimes. I think I do a really good job at keeping a balance. And anybody who knows me personally knows that at the end of the day, nothing, no one, absolutely nothing comes before my family. I don't care what it is, how much I want it, what it's doing for me. Nothing comes before my family. So I would try to, the hardest is always the Trinidad stretch because that's a long stretch. And what I would do is I would always like every single day, like clockwork, make sure I'm like FaceTiming the kids. I would like download games that is like I could play with them while I'm still in a different location and we're like on FaceTime playing games,
Yeah.
while, and anytime I have my downtimes, even if there's a moment where the day is so busy, I'm using the drive to the location to make sure like I'm speaking to the kids. I'm physically absent, but I'm in no way absent. When I come back, I pour into them as much as me not being there. Like I double pour, triple pour, like make sure that whatever I feel like I missed out in, or if I felt like, okay, well, you the one who drives, and if you're not there, they're kind of just home after school. I come and I try to like make up for that and carry them out, let them just have fun and things like that. So I try to find a good balance between the traveling and, motherhood and things like that. I want to say I'm doing a good job of it. I make sure the most important thing for me is always checking in with them to make sure they don't feel like I'm not there.
Yeah.
And once I know that emotionally, mentally, like those kind of things, that they don't feel like I'm missing in action, then I'm okay because I still feel like I'm doing the right thing. And again, still there to make sure test is being studied for. And like I don't let them things slip through the crack. I don't play with schoolwork. I don't play with manners. I don't play with none of them kind of things. So yeah, I find the balance some way, somehow it had to happen.
Yeah. All right. So over the years, a lot of songs, a lot of songs, a lot of tours, a lot of events. You also travel between the Caribbean islands as well. What some of the places you've been to? I know you've been to Antigua and you participated in that competition. What competition was that in Antigua?
The Carry Soca Monarch in Antigua. So I have my third place award somewhere up there.
All right, congratulations.
Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so I've done Antigua, I've done St. Martin, I've done was it Barbados? I know there's more, but it's like my brain is like
Yeah.
is drawing a blank. But those are the three that I could say off the top of my head that I did. And Antigua, I did it in different capacities. So I did the competition, but then I also performed at some of the events. Last year I tried the t-shirt mask as
Okay.
well. So it was like different experiences each time. St. Martin was for what you call it? My God, King James for King James concerts. Yeah, that was an amazing experience. That was a really, really good show and a great experience overall. Barbados, I think, was when I did Uber Soca Cruise or Fetopia. It was one of those. There's
Yeah.
two different. I know I'm missing somewhere because it was two different places on two different cruises, and I just don't know which one I'm catering for right now. Yeah, yeah.
Like I mentioned, a lot of songs, a couple of collabs as well. I mean, I know you did
Mhm.
Any Fabulous Colors Boy Jesse as well.
Yeah, Adamo as well.
Oh, as well. What about collabs at because sometimes with collabs, it's you got to bring a different type of energy. What
Mhm.
about collabs that you enjoy doing collabs? Tell me one of your favorite collabs.
I think one of my favorite collabs was, I don't know, I wanna say is between Hot I like all of them. Well, let me start by that saying that, right? I like all of them. They all existed in 3 very different times and 3 very different sounds, right? But I'll say what I don't like about collabs. What I don't like about collabs is when both parties don't push the music. I think it does a disservice to the
Yeah,
music itself. So that's what I don't like about collabs, and that's why now, like when I first started, it was always like, oh my god, is anyone gonna collab? Is anyone gonna collab? And I was just like, couldn't wait till one of those opportunities happened. Whereas now I look at it as I want collabs that are gonna be meaningful. I want collabs that is gonna be equal on both ends and how it's pushed, how it's received, and things like that. And you can't always guarantee that from the other side that's doing it.
yeah,
And timing also plays a big role in when these songs are dropped, how it's received, and things like that. So it's hard. It's really hard to choose between the 3 because, like I say, they all happen. Oh, sorry, and it's 4 because I have Viggy also out of yeah, I forget where Viggy's is drawing a blank right now, but Viggy as well. I have a collab with. These songs mean different things to me, right? Like Hot Topic was, this is more like your romantic
mm,
kind of, bacchanalist, but romantic kind of toxic love, but not toxic love kind of vibe. And it was a very, very different avenue for me because almost all my collabs have been power soca
yeah,
versus this one wasn't. And from the feedback that I get from people, this is one of their
yeah.
absolutely favorite songs from me is Hot Topic or Group Chat. Some people call it Group Chat.
Mm,
So I really love that one. But then Soca Make Us with College Boy Jesse, which would have been the first collab I've ever done. That one happened during COVID. And that one meant a lot to me
mhm,
because it was the way it had to have been done, right? It's like Jesse on a phone call, Daryl on a phone call, I'm on a phone call. We're going back and forth and we're going back and forth. And this is the idea this one come up with. And this is the idea. And this is what I want. And it was a really cool experience. And being stuck the way we portrayed that song, like we had a lot of different people do like little snippets where they talked about what soca meant to them.
yeah,
And it was to me such a meaningful record in the love for soca music, explaining the power that soca music has over us. And it unfortunately to me didn't really get COVID. And we'll see it a power song. People watching that like, well, what's supposed to do with that? With
yeah.
no carnival and them kind of things. Viggy as well, that was a road song. I like that song, but I will say while I love that song, it's not in my top 3. The other 3 is in my top 3. Wake Up with Skinny. I love that song so much. The funny thing about that song is that it didn't start as a collab. That
Okay.
song was supposed to be a single for me. And I just kept hearing like, I'm like, nah, I hear a male voice on this. I say, but it
Right,
has
right.
to be a grungy. Like I need a grungy male voice on it. And I
Yeah,
feel like once you go that avenue now, you limit it because there's only a few males in the soca industry that give you that grunge, right? You have Lero does give you that, Childers give you that, he does give you that, and I feel like he could get that from Marshall too, depending on the way he, executes. So
yeah,
I was like, okay, well, we had to choose one, and it was just like I think at that moment it was like hitting for it to be Skinny, and Daryl reached out and Skinny listened to the song, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I like it. He
yeah,
wanted to make some changes. Once he made the changes, he said, make sure Ray good with these changes. And then it was a done deal from there. At that point, then it was me and Skinny going back and forth, like, okay, well, was it kind of how we gonna promote this? Was the kind of looks that we have going on for it and things like I would have loved to perform it with him more. Timing and those things, especially see when the artist is in 2 different brackets, is
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
you can't catch Skinny. It was difficult, but I absolutely love Wake Up.
yeah. Wake up. I'm happy that you broke down that collab thing, man, because a lot of artists wouldn't admit to what you admit to. Collabs are
Mhm.
difficult because, like you said, a lot of times when you're dealing with collabs, sometimes you might have the idea, but the next team might want to own the song. They might want to put it on their EP, whatever the case is, you know, and
Mhm.
and the promotions or whatnot could be challenging.
Yeah,
Nevertheless,
you talk about 2 different people, 2 different brands, 2 different,
yeah,
2 different views and what they want and yeah.
nice. I gotta ask you about Fire Hose, man. That's one of my personal favorites, and of course the video. That video, where was that video? produced. Or what was the process to get a fire truck and all that? That is my curious mind, you know?
So that all of that was in Trinidad.
Yeah.
And it's not for lack of trying in the States,
Uh,
but it was a lot harder to try to get things moving in the States than it was for Trinidad. Trinidad, we just it's different, It's not to say that there's not rules and regulations and things like that, but it's like a lot could be resolved with a quick conversation, or sometimes it's just who you know and you get to, you get through. So it was kind of one of those kind of situations, like pull up to a fire station and was like, hey, we want to shoot a video. And they were like, well, okay, you gotta go here first. And then we
Yeah.
went there first. And then when we went there, it was like, okay, well, let me send an email. They send the email, we get the approval. Next day, that's it. We
What's that?
start to shoot one time. Ain't nobody sticking on, nobody changed their mind. The only request was, like don't get like certain things in it, or like the actual workers and things like that. They were down. I mean, the workers was there helping us. Like, it's them rolling out the hose. The hose I used to see rolling out in the beginning of the video. It's them rolling out the hose.
Nice.
But this is the even funnier thing. The hose, the music video, was shot twice.
Really?
Yeah. The first time, the videographer lost all the footage.
Serious?
All the footage. The video was supposed to drop way before the video ever dropped. And the videographer lost all the footage. And thank goodness that everybody was just willing, like who we were getting to play the firefighter, the location we used for the inside shots, the station again. They were all willing to work with us to reshoot. And
Wow.
we literally had to do everything all over again and try to like match it perfectly. It was crazy, but that I had I had a good time shooting fire.
You'd never know about this story. Oh,
Facts.
that's crazy. All right. You have a brand new, I guess it's a single on the dancehall tip. But let you talk about it, introduce it, and so forth. How you got into? I know you're a big fan of dancehall as well. So
Yeah.
what was the inspiration behind this song? Is it Fling?
So Fling It Up.
Fling it up.
So Fling It Up, which is produced by Scotch Bonnet, written by Daryl. Fling It Up was so a lot of people been telling me from the beginning, Ray, have I tried dancehall? Like, I feel like you should try, I feel like you'd do good on a dancehall and all. But again, if you know me or if you've listened to me long enough, you would know that after soca is dancehall for me. We had a choice because it's like obviously music had a release for Trinidad Carnival and things like that. So knowing that this is in the dancehall realm, I know that it stops it from really doing too much for
Yes.
Carnival. And I had to pick, it was either that I went forward with a soca song releasing or I went the route of the dancehall. And it was more a strategic thing
Yeah.
because it's like if I waited on that, it wouldn't have had a space to really do what it's doing and live, because it would have been release on this rhythm, because it's Carnival coming and things like that. No, Fling It Up is actually supposed to be a rhythm.
Okay.
My song is just out now because I was like, I want to release this now because the other people who are Jamaicans on the rhythm don't have that barrier of when to release their music, whereas I would have had it. So my song went out already, but it is supposed to turn into a rhythm. I ain't gonna say who else on it. We go see when the rhythm drop. But
That makes sense because typically dancehall rhythms usually either drop either in the summer or close to Christmas or day after Christmas. So for us, but for soca artists, you want to drop early because of course,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
So that makes sense. Nah,
Yeah, so it was definitely a strategy call. And plus I've just always wanted to do a dancehall, like I say. So it's like the opportunity came, Scotch had the rhythm, Daryl
Yeah.
played it for me, and I was like, yeah. I was like, I didn't have to listen to the whole rhythm through. I was like, I like this. I was like, but
No, sorry. I said the song have vibes.
thank you. But one of my stipulations for it was I was like, I want bad gal, but I want like Queen of the Pack, like I want Patra, like I want, I was like, I want this in there, Daryl.
Yeah.
What about the Queen of the Pack?
Yeah. I heard that line in the song.
Yeah, so that's what everybody keeps talking about. Like, oh, you see when you do that little sample there, like that was also intentional. I was like, no, I want this there. So he made it happen, and yeah, I just got to recording, and I was like, all right, let me get my inner dancehall out and see what I could do and see how it come out. As far as I'm concerned, right now the feedback has been great. People like it. People are gravitating towards it, and I love it. It was, it was something different. It was refreshing. It was fun, and yeah, I'm a little challenge going out right now for all the bad gal dancers. My little I'm not no dancer. I could dance, I could whine. I'm not no dancer to say, I busting on no big choreography, but I do a little choreography thing, for fling it up, and
Yeah.
is wherever the inspiration hit. I do it on a bus, I do it on a beach, I do it on a wherever. And
I did see the bus. I did see the bus, and the bus driver put the door in. Nice.
that was not intentional. None of that happened intentionally.
So like a nice pose after what you was doing. So wait, I gotta
Yeah,
ask,
yeah.
bus driver.
Mhm.
So you just say, I want to do a quick video. How that happened?
No, so I was not doing anything to do with the bus. I was
Right.
actually shooting the video for the drop to announce that I was doing my concert, Authentic Energy, in New York. While I was doing it, the bus started pulling up, and we were like, oh my God, it's gonna mess up the video. So we were trying now to like figure out how to angle so that the bus wasn't in it.
Right.
And then we were like, well, if we catch it, we catch it. So at the end of me trying to do the drop for the concert, the bus driver came out and he's like, can I get a photo? Like, we were like, okay. And then I was outside VP Records and they were playing Fling It Up. And I was like, I could record content for Fling It Up one time. It done playing out loud on the street. Let me take this opportunity to get some content for Fling It Up. But my brain still wasn't connecting the bus. It wasn't thinking. And usually people and bus, not even, that was far from my mind. Who I was with, she's like controlling me while I'm doing the dance, and she's like trying to signal me, like, go in the bus, go in the bus. And I'm like, yo, this girl is mad. She gonna get it. This man gonna cuss. So when I went on the bus, he didn't say anything. So I just did my thing. The chorus came back on, and I did my dance challenge. And then when I turned around to him, I'm like, the doors could close. I was like, close the door for me now, close the door for me now.
Yeah, that was nice. Listen, man, I told you that was, and see, that's the thing about creating content. Everything is content.
Everything is content.
You have to be brave. Just do it because, like you said, it's so perfect. It looked like the bus was part of the whole thing.
I didn't even know till it was time for me to edit the video and put it up. I had never watched what the bus driver was doing. And when it was time for me to edit, I was like, yo, this looks perfect. Like, this looks like one of those videos when the person intentionally stands behind you and, they watch it. And I had no idea that's what was transpiring until it was time to edit the video.
Yeah, man just close the door, boom, at the end. All right, so we're going to talk about, you had the opportunity to tour with one of the biggest soca artists, or I would say artists, in general. Everybody knows him, of course, Kes.
Mhm.
What was
Yes.
the experience like?
So I have to say a big thank you to Kes because he has had me open for him quite a few times. And every time it just feels more and more special. I've opened for him in Trinidad. I opened for him when COVID had now stopped and he did his concert in Coney Island, and then now opening for him in Baltimore. And every single time it is really such an amazing experience. But I think what I enjoy more than the actual performing is after the fact when it's backstage and I'm getting to talk to everybody and you get to show your personality and you get to be more personal with people rather than it's just, I'm here, I'm going to perform, okay, thanks, bye. It's not like that. So those are the moments that I really, really am grateful for because it builds on our relationship and things like that. And just continued thanks again for them seeing me as even someone that they could have on and to open for them and things like that is a really big blessing.
Yeah, nice. All right, September the 26th, Sweetheart of Reggae. I'm sorry, Sweetheart, right? Sorry, Sweetheart of Soca. So this is not reggae tracks in my mind.
You see, I dropped one dance hall and
I know, man. I'm like, one Clary. September the 26th. Tell me about September the 26th.
So September the 26th, I am having my concert in New York, Real Authentic Energy. Last year, I would have done my concert for the first time ever in DC. And it was like a collaboration between my birthday celebration as well as my concert. And I remember being so scared. Like, this is different. This is a different space to navigate now. And what if people don't show up? Like, I'm like, what if they don't buy the tickets?
I was there. Yeah, I came
Yeah.
out. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
there. I know you had a lot
but
to remember, but I was there.
Okay, yeah. I feel like I remember, but I also vaguely remember the night because it's a lot. It's a lot when you're putting on your own thing. And we kind of did that was we I would have wished we had more time to prepare for that one in DC than the time that we gave, but it was still a really good turnout. It was still exactly what we wanted it to be. We wanted it to be intimate. We wanted it to be a small start. And I also wanted to be, like I said, celebrating my birthday. And it was a really great turnout and it exceeded my expectations. And I had a great time doing it. And I decided once we did that, that it was time for me to level it up, and not just level it up in the sense of the space of how much people it could hold, but also just in not making it stuck in one place, right? Being comfortable that I did it in one place. And, all these places play a role in my life, right? You have Trinidad, this is where I was born. You have New York, which is like, it literally helped raise me. And then you have Maryland, which is my adult years now after COVID, that this is where I call home. And I'm like, it has to be in these places, at least to the start, it has to be in these places that matter to me. So, that's how the 26 came about. I'm like, the next location has to be New York. I have to bring this back to the place that helped raise me, the place that where I do know everybody, where I can call on so many people. And the early bird tickets are already sold out. It has been doing really, really well. And I hope that it continues to do really, really well, because the goal is to keep this coming, right? To start something and build this experience that I want people to leave and being like, yo, that vibe was so authentic. Real authentic energy is literally what RAE means. And that is what I want people to take away from every time I put on a show, like, yo, she just felt so real, or this just felt like so authentic, and things like that. And that's where we take in the concert.
Yeah, kudos to you on that, man. Kudos to you on that. And we actually
Thank
booked
you.
for the same event coming up in, not the same event, August the 29th, One Love Festival in New Jersey. So,
Yes, yes. It changed to August 30th though.
yes, it should, yeah, you know what? Correct. They did change it to Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to see you again. All right. So
Yeah. We outside.
yeah, we outside. We outside. So this part of the podcast is called 2,000 Questions About Me. I'm not going to ask you 2,000 questions, obviously, but it's based on a book that I bought a couple of years ago. So what
Okay.
I would like you to pick a number from 1 to 2,000. The number that you pick will be the question that's asked out of the
Oh
book.
my gosh.
Yeah.
This is fun and scary all at the same
Right.
time. Oh my goodness.
Your favorite number. Start with that.
I don't know that I have a favorite number. It would say if I had to pick one, the first numbers that came to mind was either 7 or 11.
7 or 11. Well, we could do 2. I'll give you a bonus. So let's do 7.
Okay.
Sounds
Or
fair?
we could do 711 since I could go to 2000.
Well, if you want to do 711, we could do that too. Work with that. And I like that
All
too.
right.
711. Right, here we boom, boom. All righty. 711. Here we go. What was some of the best news you ever received? Wow. What's some of the best news you've ever received?
I've received a lot of good news in the sense of, do I need to answer it in the aspect of an artist or just
You can,
life holistically?
you can answer it if
Um,
you choose.
okay. I'll start with, I think one of the best news I had received as an artist was that I'll give two. One, that I was nominated for Best New Artist in London in 2023, I believe, and I won.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a really super cool moment for me. Like, I'll never forget the day when the award came in the mail and what
Yeah.
opening it up felt like. And this journey is really difficult. I know that we tend to make it look so glamorous and so fun and, busy and things like that, but it comes with a lot of sacrifices, and it comes with a lot of no's. It comes with a lot of, heartache and pain, but as well as happiness and great moments. And sometimes you start to doubt yourself and if it making sense and should you continue. And I think when I had found out, I'll never forget how it happened, right? Daryl called me on the phone and he's like, Ray. I said, what's up? He said, you okay? I said, yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
He's like, you're sitting down? Who starts a conversation like that? You thinking it's about to be like, oh my God, somebody dead. I'm like, yes, I'm sitting down. What? Like, what happened? He's like, you won. And I'm
Just
like, what did I win? He's like, what? He's like, you won. I was like, Daryl, help me here. I don't know what you're talking about. What did I win? He said, you won the best new artist for the Caribbean Afro Music Awards in London. Like, I went crazy. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, because it was one of those moments where if you feel like people don't see, you're wrong.
Yeah.
If you feel like people aren't noticing, you're wrong. If you feel like you're not making any progress, you're wrong. And here's this thing that helps you understand and could look back at it and be like, nah, girl, you're bugging. And then to follow that up, I was blessed to be nominated for the Caribbean Music Awards every year since it has existed. And that again was like, oh my goodness. Like, every year you're almost like, you're waiting to be like, oh my God, when is the results coming out? And to see my name there again, is that continuation of you're doing something right. You're doing something right, and your peers and others are seeing that you're doing something right. So definitely one of like, well, two of like some of the best news that I've gotten. I would say another super, super great news was when my very first child, when I found out that it was a boy. It was a very interesting experience. It was like it was like I'm happy. Oh my God, it's not a girl. Oh my God, I got a boy. Like it was very interesting. And I remember first being in a state of panic because I always envisioned myself with a girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, a boy, what am I supposed to do with that?
What is a boy?
Yeah. And that little boy literally became like my best friend. I love my kids. I tell my kids all the time they're my little besties. So when I got the news, one, that I was pregnant, two, that it was a boy, it was some amazing news. So yeah.
See, I told you you did good with picking 7-Eleven. That's why I love this book. I have no idea what the question is going to be. And a lot of times, from my experience, it taps into a space that a lot of people, there's always a question that someone could, relate or something to bring back. So many people have introduced to this book with questions, and a lot of times it's bringing back so many stories or tap into so many different spaces. In reference to even that question, what's the worst no you've ever got?
Worst no. I don't know what the
Or the one
worst no.
sting, the one no that's or the one no is sting you like, damn.
Because I think every no, when you really want it, feels like the worst no in
Yeah.
that moment, right? But what I will say is there was a year for Carnival where I just felt like it was constant no's.
Mm,
And it wasn't the Carnival that just passed. That was amazing. That was probably one of the best Carnival seasons I've ever had. But
right.
I think it might have been the year before
Okay.
this last Carnival. And I felt like that I wanted to be on, it
Yeah.
was a no. And it wasn't necessarily like a straight up, hey, no, we don't want her. But it's like hey, well, there's a lineup of names, or hey, we'll see. And
Right.
it's like
Right.
the never really came around to being a no, but you kind of realizes the day before it's a
Right. Right.
no, you still don't have the answer yet. And it
Yeah.
felt like it happened a lot that season. And I remember just feeling so defeated and feeling like, oh my God, what's the point? Why even doing this?
Right.
And
Right.
you never really understand how other people see it from the outside, right? Because it's like I go home and I finish Carnival and they're like, yo, your season was so crazy, girl. 40 something shows, ting, 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 ting. My brain can't even see the 40 something because the five that I really, really wanted, or the six that I
Right.
really, really wanted, that
Yep.
all happened to have been no's, felt like it was the most like defeating season, whatever. And then I
Yes.
always take time afterwards when the no's come to reflect and be like, yo, look at how much you have to be grateful for, though. Look at how many yeses there has been. What's not for you was never going to be for you regardless.
Yeah.
So don't take it on like that. But in that moment, when you don't get through, that thing feeling like you're the scum of earth and nobody don't want you. Like you just,
Yeah. I don't know. That question came to mind, man. But thanks for sharing. All right. At this
Yeah.
point, open up the floor. Any last things you want to say before we wrap it up?
No, well, thank you for having me. This was fun. This was cool. I like this. I just want to just end it with saying that I'm full of gratitude. It's a hard journey, but it's been an amazing journey. For anybody who's listening to the podcast and grateful for the people who are interested in tuning in, and grateful for the people who's been on this journey with me, whether they started on the journey with me, came halfway in, now come. I'm just always grateful for the people that continue to just stick with me and jump on and follow through with the careers. And
Yeah.
big up management, down, big up your whole self.
Yeah, boy, big up yourself. The Juve. You know, I definitely want to take this opportunity once again, man, to really congratulate you on all the success. I'm so proud of you. I've always said this, that, yeah, from way back to 2017, as you mentioned, in one of them years, when you first came into the studio, you know, and to now. Not to say back then it was, you know, I could tell it was new to the business. Let's put it that way. See the confidence now, even when I'm
Yeah.
bringing you on
Mm-hmm.
stage, like ready. And I'm always saying, you know, a friend I've known for quite some time, and it's true,
Yeah.
quite some time. You're really doing a great job, and your work ethics,
Yeah.
man, crazy. That being said, once again, so
Appreciate that.
there were, how can people follow you?
Yeah.
Of course, September the 26th. You know, what about it?
Yes. September the 26th, everybody. Okay, if it's DMV, New York, Jersey, the way, all it pop out to Real Authentic Energy going on in Brooklyn, New York. And definitely follow me at R.A.E Music. Ray represents Real Authentic Energy. And from there, they find in everything. They find in my TikToks, my YouTubes, my Apple Music, my Spotify, the stream the music, play the music, support the soca music. And just continue. Thanks.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray.
And that's a wrap on this episode of the AlonzoBash Podcast. Thank you for tuning in and rocking with us. If you enjoyed today's conversation, leave a comment and let us know your favorite episode so far. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to help the podcast grow. You can catch the AlonzoBash Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and even on Amazon Alexa devices. Just ask Alexa to play the AlonzoBash Podcast. Until next time, stay inspired, stay connected, and as Alonzo would say, stay focused on your goals and dreams. See you on the next episode.
Oh,